Hey everyone, Jen here with.
Hey, hi guys.
All right, she's back in it with me, y'all. It's been me for a while, but she's back. All right, she's been busy. So this is really interesting. So we had a patient come in today, and probably a week or two ago, I was going over some labs with her, and she has hypothyroidism, so she has a thyroid issue, and I was like, dang, your labs, and we had just increased her medication. And I track this. I check the labs ever so often to make sure the medication's working because that's what your primary care should be doing for you, right? And she's like, Jen, I'm still having all these symptoms. I just don't feel well. And so when the labs came back, it was like worse. And so I was like, what is going on with you? And so, anyways, I was like, why didn't I do this before? Which is bad on me. I could admit that. You guys already know I'm super honest. But I was like, you know what? I need to take you through a full panel of labs, which most primary cares don't do. So when I talk about a full panel, what I'm talking about is specifically with thyroid. I want to also look at the T3, reverse T3, the T4, also looking for antibodies, right? So in case they have something like Hashimoto's. And so not only that, but I also checked iron. I checked some other labs. Okay. We just did a more thorough workup. And when she came back in today and we were going over that, she was like, Jen, after you gave me my lab result, I gave her lab result last week, actually. She said, I went on these forums and I was looking, and literally the lab panel that you did on me, it was $2,100. And I was like, holy crap, people, right? So I already told you that most primary cares are not going to test those additional labs. They just don't do it. I hear it all the time. You beg for it, they just don't do it. The other thing is these labs, while these were a little bit more pricey, I guarantee they were not 20, they were like less than $200, and people out there are paying 2,100, right? So how are people able to afford good medical care? She has had this problem for 15 years now. And this is the first time that she's had the thorough labs done. The first time. No one has ever wanted to do it for her. So I'm kind of like, what is going on? What you think, Dan?
Well, one thing that makes me sad is how expensive the service is as far as getting those labs done in different locations, because that's why I was telling Jen why people are non-compliant or they continue to be sick because they just can't afford it. They don't make it affordable. And so I think people go for years feeling awful. Many patients come in here and they say, I've been feeling this way for so long. Just like me, the lady who's had a hysterectomy, she was 29, had never been able to have hormones drawn because people are like, you've had that. It's okay. It just makes me sad that people go feeling awful when they don't have to. If it's just affordable for them to have these labs done and for a provider to interpret the results and be able to find ways to help them, I mean, I think that's amazing. So I think they're very lucky that Jen has this great program where the labs are not as expensive as other locations, and she can actually interpret those and be able to help people. So that's a win-win already, right? So
Yeah, it's just crazy because doing what we do now, we always explain that we came from insurance-based medicine, both of us did. And sometimes we forget because we've been doing this a while now, and because our prices are so good, they're wholesale prices on labs. And so because we see these prices every day, we forget. Like, we're like, oh yeah, we don't even remember what it costs until someone comes in and they're like, Jen, do you know that this is how much those labs cost? And I'm like, holy shit. Like, one, I chuckle. I would never do this, but I'm like, we could increase the price, right? We're not going to do that because I think that's unethical. That's part of what we do with the DPC is that we roll that over to you guys so you can have that benefit. Otherwise, we're just as bad as insurance.
yeah, for sure.
It makes us no better. But also having access, right? So I'm sure there's some of you out there who the same thing as this lady, she had been saying something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. Yes, it's your thyroid, it's your thyroid, it's your thyroid. but then no one did the full test, the thorough test to make sure that everything was in line. And literally, she could have been diagnosed so long ago with Hashimoto's, which has really been contributing to most of her symptoms. And so it's good. Now she's with us. We got her. We're going to take care of her. But we wanted to share that because a lot of times there are those fees that you guys don't know what you're paying for or can't even get access to the things that you need. So just another story we wanted to share.
Yeah. Stay healthy out there.
Bye bye.
Bye.